The Internet is a massive network of networks, a networking infrastructure. It connects millions of computers together globally. There are lots of services provided over the Internet. World Wide Web, email service, DNS, domain name service, video conferencing, file transfer, remote desktop, etc. The World Wide Web, WWW, commonly known as the web, is an information system where documents and other web resources are identified by uniform resource locators, URLs, such as https://www.example.com, which may be interlinked by hypertext and are accessible over the Internet. The resources of the WWW are transferred via the Hypertext Transfer Protocol (HTTP) and may be accessed by users by a software application called a web browser and are published by a software application called a web server. A uniform resource locator (URL), colloquially termed a web address, is a reference to a web resource that specifies its location on a computer network and a mechanism for retrieving it. A URL is a specific type of uniform resource identifier (URI), although many people use the two terms interchangeably. URLs occur most commonly to reference web pages (HTTP), but are also used for file transfer (FTP), email, mail-to, database access (JDBC), and many other applications. Most web browsers display the URL of a web page above the page in an address bar. A typical URL could have the form http://www.example.com/index.html, which indicates a protocol, HTTP, a hostname, www.example.com, and a file name, index.html. DNS. The Domain Name System (DNS) is a hierarchical and decentralized naming system for computers, services, or other resources connected to the Internet or a private network. It associates various information with domain names, assigned to each of the participating entities. The DNS root name servers translate URLs into IP addresses. These root servers are a network of hundreds of servers, in countries around the world. However, together they are identified as 13 named servers in the DNS root zone. By providing a worldwide, distributed directory service, the domain name system has been an essential component of the functionality of the Internet since 1985. Domain namespace. The domain namespace consists of a tree data structure. Each node or leaf in the tree has a label and 0 or more resource records, which hold information associated with the domain name. The domain name itself consists of the label, concatenated with the name of its parent node on the right, separated by a dot. The domain name itself consists of the label, concatenated with the name of its parent node on the right, separated by a dot. The tree subdivides into zones beginning at the root zone. A DNS zone may consist of only one domain, or may consist of many domains and subdomains, depending on the administrative choices of the zone manager. DNS can also be partitioned according to class, where the separate classes can be thought of as an array of parallel namespace trees. The DNS is maintained by a distributed database system, which uses a client-server model. The nodes of this database are the name service. Each domain has at least one authoritative DNS server that publishes information about that domain and the name servers of any domain subordinate to it. TCP. The Transmission Control Protocol (TCP) is one of the main protocols of the Internet Protocol Suite. It originated in the initial network implementation in which it complemented the Internet Protocol (IP). Therefore, the entire suite is commonly referred to as TCP/IP. TCP provides reliable, ordered, and error-checked delivery of a stream of octets bytes between applications running on hosts communicating via an IP network. Network functions. The Transmission Control Protocol provides a communication service at an intermediate level between an application program and the Internet Protocol. It provides host-to-host connectivity at the transport layer of the Internet model. IP has the task of delivering packets from the source host to the destination host solely based on the IP addresses in the packet headers. For this purpose, IP defines packet structures that encapsulate the data to be delivered. It also defines addressing methods that are used to label the datagram with source and destination information. Host-to-host connection. This is an example of host-to-host connection. By virtual private network or VPN, you can create a host-to-host connection over the Internet. TCP header. Transmission Control Protocol accepts data from a data stream, divides it into chunks, and adds a TCP header, creating a TCP segment. The TCP segment is then encapsulated into an Internet Protocol IP datagram and exchange with peers. A TCP segment consists of a segment header and a data section. The segment header contains 10 mandatory fields and an optional extension field, options, pink background in table. The data section follows the header and is the payload data carried for the application. The length of the data section is not specified in the segment header. It can be calculated by subtracting the combined length of the segment header and IP header from the total IP datagram length specified in the IP header. TCP Connection Establishment. To establish a connection, TCP uses a three-way handshake. Before a client attempts to connect with a server, the server must first bind to and listen at a port to open it up for connections. This is called the passive open. Once the passive open is established, a client may initiate an active open. To establish a connection, the three-way or three-step handshake occurs. SYN, the active open, is performed by the client sending a SYN to the server. The client sets the segment sequence number to a random value A. SYN ACK. In response, the server replies with a SYN ACK. The acknowledgement number is set to 1 more than the received sequence number, i.e., A+1, and the sequence number that the server chooses for the packet is another random number, B. ACK. Finally, the client sends an ACK back to the server. The sequence number is set to the received acknowledgement value, i.e., A+1, and the acknowledgement number is set to 1 more than the received sequence number, i.e., B+1. At this point, both the client and server have received an acknowledgement of the connection. The steps 1, to establish the connection parameter sequence number for one direction and it is acknowledged. The steps 2, 3 establish the connection parameter sequence number for the other direction and it is acknowledged. With these, a full duplex communication is established. Connection termination. The connection termination phase uses a four-way handshake, with each side of the connection terminating independently. When an endpoint wishes to stop its half of the connection, it transmits a FIN packet, which the other end acknowledges with an ACK. Therefore, a typical teardown requires a pair of FIN and ACK segments from each TCP endpoint. After the side that sent the first FIN has responded with the final ACK, it waits for a timeout before finally closing the connection, during which time the local port is unavailable for new connections. This prevents confusion due to delayed packets being delivered during subsequent connections. TCP ports. TCP and UDP use port numbers to identify sending and receiving application endpoints on a host, often called Internet sockets. Each side of a TCP connection has an associated 16-bit unsigned port number 0-65535, reserved by the sending or receiving application. Arriving TCP packets are identified as belonging to a specific TCP connection by its sockets, that is, the combination of source host address, source port, destination host address, and destination port. Arriving TCP packets are identified as belonging to a specific TCP connection by its sockets, that is, the combination of source host address, source port, destination host address, and destination port. This means that a server computer can provide several clients with several services simultaneously, as long as a client takes care of initiating any simultaneous connections to one destination port from different source ports. Port numbers are categorized into three basic categories: well-known, registered, and dynamic, private. The well-known ports are assigned by the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority (IANA) and are typically used by system-level or root processes. Well-known applications running as servers and passively listening for connections typically use these ports. Some examples include FTP 20 and 21, SSH 22, Telnet 23, SMTP 25, HTTP over SSL, TLS 443, and HTTP 80. Note, as of the latest standard, HTTP 3 QUIC is used as a transport instead of TCP. Registered ports are typically used by end-user applications as ephemeral source ports when contacting servers, but they can also identify named services that have been registered by a third party. Dynamic private ports can also be used by end-user applications, but are less commonly so. Dynamic private ports do not contain any meaning outside of any particular TCP connection.